Okay. Welcome to our deep dive to chakras. We've got people in our home and people online, and so we are excited to share this topic with you. It's, for many of us, we've been studying energy medicine for many years. This is part 3 of a series that we've done. So we did an overview of the 3 basic energy systems. Then we went a deep dive into our biofield, or our energy field, or our aura. And then this week is deep dive into chakras. Next week, we're going to do a favorite of mine. And I think it's so timely, and I think it's very important. And that's essential oils, of course, and your first aid kit with energy, your energy first aid kit. So did you know that if you had a situation where you went into shock, or you had a situation where there's an emergency, even things like heart attacks and very serious seizures and things of that nature, that there are things that you can do to help stabilize your system while you're waiting for your medical teams to get there. All right. So next week, just those are some severe ones, obviously, but there are some things that we can do on a general level to support ourselves. And I use this every day. I use the 5-minute energy routine, or really it's the daily energy routine now, because it takes longer than 5 minutes personally. But myself and many of the people here in this room do this every day. It's just part of our life. And so we want to welcome you into that magical world. If you're new to chakras or to energy, today's a really good class for you. We're going to start off with, I'll show you what we're going to start off with. We're going to just start off with becoming present in our bodies. We just want to be here now. I know that many of you are just getting off work. Some of you have had busy days. You have lives. You have layers of emotions going through you. And so just for the next hour, hour and a half, just close down the tabs. Just take a deep breath. Breathe in through your belly. That diaphragmatic breathing, where you breathe in through your nose and just fill up that diaphragm. You're not really breathing in through your belly. You're breathing in through your lungs. But we're going to just fill our body up. And today's about the chakras. So I'm just wondering whether you close your eyes or whether you keep your eyes open, it doesn't matter. But what I want you to do is just think about the energy around you. If you've been with us, you're familiar with the energy field around you. Imagine that this field of energy is drawing in information into vortexes straight up your spine. And just imagine that you can see them illuminating right now. So take a breath. I want you to imagine that deeply grounded into the earth is a bright, earthy, ochre, red ball of energy deep in the center of the earth. And as you breathe into it, it begins to connect with your feet. This energy is pouring up through the bottoms of your feet. And it's illuminating. It's almost like lava flowing. And it's flowing up through bottoms of your feet, up through your legs, your knees, your groin, and your tailbone is this amazing receptor of information from the earth. All this beautiful life force energy grounding you, stabilizing you, your hips. This energy at the tip of your tailbone is red. And it expands all around you, down through the earth, up, back through you. And it's red. And with each breath, you see that energy surrounding you. And it begins to move up to below your belly button. And it begins to take on the color of oranges, different shades of orange and red, and they mix. This womb area, this lower abdomen begins to illuminate itself, this creativity and joyfulness and playfulness. Just breathe into that energy. Let it mix with the red. Move it up. It's in, on, and around you. As you breathe, it begins to move up to your solar plexus. That solar plexus takes on this beautiful lemon color, this yellow. And each breath expands that in, on, and around you. It's connecting in with your energy field, lots of information flowing in and out. This is about personal power, manifestation, worth, identity. And as you breathe, it begins to mix with the yellows and the oranges and the red, and it all starts coming up. Move that up into your heart. Lots of beautiful green colors mixing in with that yellow. And it begins to have some rosy colors mixed in it, some pinks and some greens. In, on, and around you, you're breathing it. It expands into your energy field, information all around the heart, around love, unity, the breath. Your breath continues to expand this energy around you. This grounding energy from the root continuing to flow all the way up to the heart. Streams of colors all around you. Lots of information just floating by you. Breathe that up into your throat. This beautiful blue and this turquoise and shades all coming together. The throat chakra has all of the colors of the rainbow. It represents all of your chakras. So there's lots of colors there. It's a kaleidoscope. Just breathe that. The neck begins to relax. The weight of the world begins to just dissolve all the way down to your tailbone, down your legs, into the earth, and back up again. Each breath is just a pulse of this light and this energy. The love and the unity of the heart moves into the throat, which is your voice and speaking and being heard and valued, your expressions. Front to back, all around you, mixing with the energy field. It's just expansive, every breath pulsing in and out. Beautiful vitality and life force. And that moves through your jaw, through your face. Just relaxing everything. Just relaxes all the way as it goes up between your eyebrows to the ajna, to that third eye area. Your ears and your eyes. The ability to see. Just to express the throat and the intelligence that you were given and the subtle senses that you feel, the spiritual gifts that you have, and to connect with that, seeing through the illusions of life into the truth. And as you breathe, it expands out around you. This beautiful violet, well, indigo technically, but they're starting to all blur. And that moves up to your crown, and it opens up and it moves you up into the great ethers of life. That space where you feel so divinely inspired. The oneness with the divine and each other. Seeing through the eyes of God. So as you breathe now, just imagine this funnel of energy that comes up through the earth, all the way up through the torso, the neck, the face, and the head, and out through the top of your head. And it pulls all the way a big circle, and it comes back down to the earth, and it pulls back up. It's called a torus. It just moves. It moves us through space and through time. And it connects us with the energy field around us. And it allows us just to be one and connected with all. We are all connected to each other wherever we are right now in this moment. And the intent that I'd like to put out there is that you feel this space of wholeness within you. Find a center point. It's usually what we call the dantian, or the seat of the soul, somewhere near your belly button. Just imagine that connects us to all humanity, all of the spiritual gifts, all the attributes of God, all flowing through all of us, and that there is no separation anymore. We can find our wholeness within and allow others to do the same. And whether someone's here or on the other side of the veil, we're all one still. It's one energy, one life, one God. And so my intent for this class for you today is that you feel the groundedness to the earth, because we are humans and we have a body, but we're also spiritual, energetic beings. And we want to integrate both of those. We want to become one. Do you know that your soulmate is you? It's finding a oneness between the right and the left hemisphere, between the conscious and the unconscious, between the physicality and the divine and eternal aspects, the finite and the infinite. We're finding this amazing, beautiful space of oneness within ourselves. And when we take responsibility for that beautiful, perfect relationship of love, then we can offer that to each other. And that's when we're kind. That's when we see through the eyes of God. So just breathe this intention that by the end of the class that you're going to have a connection to the energy centers that hold a lot of information for you, and that you will be able to return to a place of your center, whatever that looks and feels like for you tonight. One final breath. Just feel like you're coming back to the presence, so we can listen with our intellect, but also with our energy. Go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready. I had an opportunity in June of last year, and I worked with horses. I worked with horses last year, and I learned something. I already knew this, but it reminded me, actually. And what I remembered about horses is that when you're leading a horse, especially rescue horses, when you're leading them, that you have this opportunity to notice that they go back here, that they connect with their human or the person that they're following, and they will not follow you if you're not present. The moment you check out, or the moment you're not being authentic with that horse, they will not follow you. They'll turn their butt to you. They will ignore you. But the moment that you show up with exactly who you are and where you are, they will connect with you. And I went home with that thinking, I'm going to try to do an experiment. And I just wanted to share this with you. It's just something you can play around with your energy. Can you keep 50% of your attention on the seat of your soul, that belly button area between the third and the second chakras? Can you keep your attention there on your core, on your authenticity, and then 50% on whoever you're talking to or whatever you're doing, so that in any given moment you have pure presence? That's the goal. And I find myself when I'm struggling or I'm stressed, I'm 100% in my head. So I'm trying to learn to drop back in and make that my auto pattern. So as we're working with chakras today, I just want you to know that we're going to play around with these energy centers today. And I want you to get familiar with them on your system so that you can use this to strengthen you and to ground you and to get to know each of them so that it becomes a tool in your life. So I hope that you could experience the chakras. I know we haven't talked a lot about them yet, but we're going to go deeply into that now. And so hopefully you bumped into some chakras if you're not familiar with them. And now we're going to really explain them. So the overview of this is we just had that meditation. We're going to do an essential oil overview. We're going to do a basic chakra overview, and then we're going to go through the individual chakras. I'm going to show you how to energy test, and then we're going to harmonize and give you some little tools. All right. Be thinking about what are your top 3 health priorities. I want you to get your notebook out. Maybe you put it in the chat box. What are these top 3 health priorities that you'd like to be listening in the background as we're talking today and discussing the chakras? What are the 3 things that you would like to learn some tips about? It could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be spiritual, could be financial, could be relational. You choose. What are the top 3 things in your life right now that you'd like to explore a little more deeply and be listening as we go to help you discover a little bit more about yourself? Because I believe that you have an inner wisdom that is teaching you, and you receive what you're able to hear. And so if you make an intent right now with the top 3 health priorities that you'd like to learn about, as I'm speaking about these different chakras and the oils, you're going to go, oh, that one, that one, that one. So next to the 3 priorities, as I'm speaking, make a list of the oils that are going to work for you, or you want to try, or one of the exercises we do with the chakras, or one of the tips I give you. You can just take a little note next to your top 3 health priorities. Okay. All right. Most of you are familiar with essential oils, but I do want to just make sure that everyone has a basic 101 understanding. There are 3 ways that we use essential oils. That's in, on, and around you. In you is internal. We have beautiful oils. McKenna can pass some. Yeah, we have.
We might need to pass some peppermint around. Everyone's getting very toasty.
Okay. Well, okay. So if you're at home, pick out your favorite oils because we're about ready to explore them with chakras, and we have lots of different oils that we can use. But just so you guys know and feel confident using them, when you use oils internally work with the organ systems. They work with the blood. They go systemic very quickly. You can put them in your mouth and they absorb and they go very quickly. You can put them into a capsule. You can drink them in your water. There are lots of ways that you can use them internally, and some of them you want to dilute. Like most of us don't enjoy the taste of oregano or geranium, but we do want the properties inside of our bodies. And so using them internally is fantastic. Some of them we put them in a gel cap or a veggie cap. dōTERRA sells some gel caps just for use of convenience in that. We want to use them on. So using them inside of ourselves, we talked about. On you is topical. And it's as simple as, where do I feel this in my body? You have an ache, you have a pain, you have something going on. It's just like, where do I feel it? Do I have a cut, scrape, bruise, burn? Put it on where you feel it, right? You have something going on for you, just topically put it. It will go into the bloodstream. And we want to make sure that you use some type of carrier oil. If you're not familiar with the different oils, like peppermint is a little spicy for people with very fair skin. So if you have fair skin, you might want to dilute some of it, like lemongrass or black pepper, oregano, cinnamon and cassia for sure. For people who are fair, most people, that's a caustic oil. And so carrier oil or not, what are some of your favorite places to use the oils topically? spine,
Behind the ears.
behind the ears, chest,
On my feet.
feet,
On the back of my neck, I guess.
back of my neck,
He, like,
anywhere.
strength.
Yeah.
I put very calm here. And I put.
Hormones can be under the arm.
Impure, or depends on the week, finger. It's already diluted, or then my neck, and then this to rub it in.
Yeah, and that's a good tip, is to rub it in, give it some friction. Energetically, that's going to help drive it into the skin, and also physically, it'll drive it into the skin. A carrier oil is sometimes great because it's a fat. The essential oils are different. To have a fatty oil will help to hold something topically in a different way on the skin. So you can use the oils topically and internally, and you can also use them aromatically. Aromatically, you can put them in a diffuser, you can drop them in your hand, you can take a big smell. I recommend at home. Maybe you put some, we've got peppermint going on here in the house, and just take a deep breath, rub your hands together, and breathe in all the goodness. It's so good. These oils are fantastic. Now, you know that we're talking about just general use of oils, and we're about to deep dive into so many other ways that you can specifically use your oils. All right. So there are three really cool things about dōTERRA. Three things that everybody should know. Essential oils in their pure form are safe. Right now, we do have instructions. They're on the bottle, and most of us have books, and you guys have us as wellness advocates to educate and teach you how to use essential oils if you're not familiar with them. And so safety it's an important part of it. We want to use them appropriately, but just know that dōTERRA essential oils are 100% natural, and they don't cause the typical side effects, and we don't get addictions and things like that from them. Each plant takes on the property of whatever that plant's job is. So we can use them like that. They are 50 to 70 times more potent than an herb, because we're using a little tiny oil sac. And those little oil sacs, say from a peppermint leaf, there might be thousands of them on one sac. And that's what's going in your bottle. Where you have the herb, you've got the botanical matter still. Ours are therapeutic grade. I'm sorry, they're tested grade, and they're pure and they're potent. And the second cool thing about essential oils is that they're really effective. And the reason they're really effective is they have the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. They have the ability to go intracellular. That means that viruses and things that are happening inside of our tiny little cells, it can go in through the receptor sites. Whereas something like a bacteria is typically too large, as are our medications. The medications aren't designed to go inside the cell. And so that gives essential oils, because they're essentially plant material and we are organic like that. They can enter into those little tiny particle places, and they permeate the membrane. And the third cool thing about essential oils that I want to share with you tonight is that they're very affordable, because you can use a drop at a time. They last so long. They're very affordable, and they're pennies per dose. And so we can save hundreds of dollars a year on preventative care. When we use, and besides that, they're affordable, but they're affordable to our well-being too, because I would rather prevent something than try to fix something later. And I believe that your body was designed to be healthy. It wasn't designed to be sick, and then we're trying to always stay healthy. That's opposite. So there we go on the three cool things. And each of the oils are, we're gonna kind of shift into the chakras now. And I want to connect those with the oils, because essential oils are energy. They're energy. They're chemicals. And they are the only thing that I've ever seen that can bridge your physical body, the emotional body, the energetic body, electric body. All of those things are bridged with essential oils. They're very, very special. And so you guys can take a screenshot of this if you want. I'm going to give you a whole list of oils for every chakra, but this is just a really quick at a glance of some oils that you could use if you're working with chakras. And there's a lot of ways to work with chakras, because, for example, you may have an emotions book, and you might look up each of those oils. You don't know if it's Yeah, well, these are in order 1 to 7. They're not numbered, but if you were to say, okay, the first one is balance, vetiver, and myrrh, I don't know that that's a chakra, but I'm really drawn to balance. I use it all the time. That might give you some indications that the chakra in that area that we're going to talk about could use some work. And so just be looking at these oils. Is there an oil that jumps out of you? What oil, if you want to put it in the chat box, guys here locally, what oil jumps out at you when you look at that list? Frankincense, myrrh, vetiver for Debbie, claricon for Dinah, balance for Kristen, for Jessica, lemon. Okay, so as we go through the chakras, I want you to remember the oil you chose. And then I want you to see if the oil that you chose correlates with a chakra, because it's pretty interesting how this works. And then remember, we're going to be doing classes on emotions. We've already done that, but we're going to do, Jessica and I are going to be hosting a whole series of classes on trauma, grief, and loss and emotions in the next month, April. So anyway, it's going to be really interesting to know that, yes, you can, if you picked vetiver, it's a root oil. It has physical properties. It has emotional properties. And it now is going to tie into the energetic properties for you. You can date your oils. That's what we call it. We date an oil. If you said lemon, then date lemon. I know you've got oils coming right now. So like date the oils that you have and get to know them. This is about the subtle energies, right? This is subtle energies. This is what can we do to know what we need and have tools to take care of ourselves in every given moment. So I love that we can combine essential oils with energy medicine because they go hand in hand. They're both vibrational and they both have the ability to bring us into a sense of wholeness and oneness in our systems. All right. So how many of you are familiar with the chakra system? Wow. Who wants to teach this class? Okay. We have a lot of exposure to chakra. So I hope that if this is a review for you today, that you go home and as I'm talking about each chakra, that you feel into your own chakras. As I'm talking, I want you to focus in on the chakra we're talking about. If you want to move your hands, you want to practice your energy like we did last week, where we're moving the energy, we're feeling it, we're fine tuning it. Do that because it's a lot of fun to get to know what's going on for you in your body. But everybody knows about chakras, so this is going to be good. For those of you who are brand new to chakras, you're going to learn a lot of information. Just let it just be open, just discover it and let it go. Just like let it come in, just like up through the vortex and out, right? Just let it saturate and see what becomes truth for you. What is your truth? This is all about you today. So what are chakras? Where are the chakras? And then we want to explore feeling our chakras. So chakra is a Sanskrit word. It means vortex or disc. And they're spinning. There's these spinning vortexes that we can manipulate, but they're also auto-generating. They move themselves based off of the belief system. So chakras in and of themselves are not, they don't move themselves. They're inert. They need something to move them. And that's you. That's your intelligence. Your intelligence moves energy. Totally going to teach this class because it's my favorite thing to talk about. Well, it's one of my favorite things to talk about right now. But the ability to work with ourselves in a co-creative way is possible. We are co-creating life around us. And there are a lot of things unconsciously that we're unaware of. And so when we start thinking about chakras and we start thinking about these vortexes and these wheels and what makes them move and what gets them stuck and what freezes them and what melts them and all of these things, it's our mind. It's our mind. It's the programs. I have worked with energy for 32 years. It's been a very long time. I'm extremely familiar with energy. I love it. I love the essence because it's just information. It's the signature of people. And because God created each of us, it's God. And I love to explore the energy of every single person because I get to see a different aspect of the divine. And so for me, understanding that the physical body in and of itself is not operating itself. It just follows orders from something, and that is your mind. It's the unconscious programming. It fabricates things, but you are the architect, and the architect, the divine intelligence in you, the conscious mind in you, the spiritual part of you is moving your energy system. It is moving your energy. It is moving your physical body. You take the spirit out of the body just doesn't do anything, right? So we're trying to become our own soulmate. We're trying to merge the energy in an understanding so that we know where we are. But as I told you a couple of weeks ago, I used to bump into energy and I didn't know much about it, but I noticed different densities to this energy. And so what I began to play with is like, I noticed that I could have a client come in for massage or energy work, and the next week they were kind of back in the same place. And then I began to explore energy psychology also. But what I found was energy medicine is a beautiful tool, but it's not the architect. We get to manipulate and move energy around, and you can do this manually until you form a new habit, just like 23 days or 31 days to make a new habit. You're reprogramming things. So you can reprogram your energy by what we're going to talk about today in these exercises, or you can work with your mind, which is a different type of class. So we're just coming at holistic health in lots of different ways. I call them access points. You can have access points in a lot of different ways, and this is just one of them. So these centers are responsible for the flow and distribution of vital energy throughout your body. And it's fantastic. There are 7 main chakras. There are infinite numbers of chakras. Some systems use 9. I've seen 10. I've seen 12. I've seen everybody say 15. And then they all say it could be as many as it just keeps going. It's everywhere, right? It's 144. It's 5,044, right? But the point is, it doesn't matter if we're not aware of any of them. So start with the 7, because most of us, I would have to say, is that we have a hard time even managing the 7, right? So did you have an aha moment? Like, yeah, we can get lost in too much information, and we get lost into the different systems, and it doesn't matter. There's only one system. There's only one energy. There's only, right? So don't get too hung up on words and systems and cultures, but just go where you're drawn. Go where your body moves you towards, go where your spirit says yes to, and honor that. And so anyway, we're going to work with the 7 original chakras that are common knowledge to all of us. When we have a harmony, because there are these vortexes that spin around us, when they're in harmony, life feels in flow. When you get out of harmony in your programming and your genetics and anything else, then the chakras respond, and then they don't feel so good. And then your vitality is going to decrease. You may not feel well. It's just a sense of well-being is what we're all looking for. And so you can feel that in your chakras. You can feel that, and you can help yourself become unblocked emotionally or physically or spiritually. It's fantastic. I love this tool. So the more you learn about it, the more that you will see the magic. So those 7 chakras are located in very specific areas that come straight up your spine, up the midline of your body. And so this first one you see on my far left is red, and that is a root chakra, and it's coming out the tailbone. We did that in the meditation. I wanted to do that meditation just really quickly as we started, so that as we start talking about it, you're like, oh, that's that when she was talking about in the earth, it's coming from that tailbone. So the tailbone up to right underneath the belly button, the lower abdomen is the second one. The third one is right where your stomach is. right under that xiphoid process at the solar plexus. And then we have our heart center, and we have our throat center. And then we have our third eye, or our ajna, right between our brow chakra. And then we have our crown chakra. And these come out straight like this, in the front and straight out the back. And so imagine just like funnels. And these funnels aren't just like this. They're everywhere. They represent the energy. And what happens is they feed into the energy field around you. So as we were talking about this aura that is like the atmosphere around your earth, your planet, you, just like our earth has an atmosphere, so does your energy field. And so as information's coming in, it's going to then come into one of these funnels, depending on what the energy vibration is. Everything, you notice that they're kind of colors. When I see chakras, it doesn't just look like that. This is simply for a graphic representation. It depends on what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's going on in your life, who you've been with, who you're surrounded by, what country you live in. Like, we have these general colors, but they're so blended. And then you have your energy field around you that is, imagine every pixel of intelligence and life is light, is truth. And it has a vibration, it has a sound, it has a color, it has a story. And that lives, we're a living biocomputer that changes every millisecond, right? So as I was talking about when we were in the meditation, I kept saying pulsing, because the energy pulses, and each of these color they pulse at different rates, like a tuning fork, right? Every tuning fork's going to have a different vibration and a different length and a different sound, just like music, those of you who love music. So and the same with essential oils. That's why we can choose essential oils for these, because they're vibrational. And some of them have a little bit shorter, deeper, longer bass tone, and some of them are higher. And it gets really fun. It gets really fun to play with this, because you might be like, oh, frankincense is up here and myrrh is in my root chakra, but I might want to be more grounded in here. Maybe I need to close my crown chakra a little bit. I'm going to put some myrrh up here, right? So you get to play. There's no wrong decision in this. This is about you trusting yourself and learning how to play within these vortexes. And now that you can see where they are, you might also notice that maybe there's areas of your body that are more dysfunctional than others, because these are just subtle energies. That's it. These are subtle energies. So each of these have a responsibility for organ centers, for the glands, the endocrine system are all represented in the chakras. And so it's kind of, even if you just look at this very simple picture and you had it, like, let's imagine you didn't know anything about energy or anything about the physical body, you could say, where in my body do I feel something? So if you guys you remember your top 3 health priorities, I want you to go back to that and look at what those were. Where in your body are they? I don't care if it's spiritual, emotional, or financial. Where in your body do you feel that? Where are you housing the heaviness or the lightness? It's not all about challenges. It could be, I'm elated. Where are you feeling the elation, the fluorescence, the beauty? Where is that in your system? And then just go, oh, that one's in my heart chakra. That one's green, you could even say. And some very simple things. We're going to talk about this with each one, but like, what could you do with something you go, oh, it's green, it's right here. You could go, I'm going to wear green today. I'm going to go lay on the green grass. I'm going to look up at the trees and see all the green leaves, if there's green leaves, right? You could eat the green food, spinach. All right. So you get the idea. There's lots of ways to play with our chakras. So even a child could look at this chart and you could say, honey, where is that? Oh, it's my tummy ache. Oh, that child came home from school and maybe his personal power was challenged. Maybe he had somebody made fun of him, or something. That's a self-worth issue. But tummy aches can be emotional, right? They are always something. Everything is connected energetically. Every thought you think is a hormone. Every thought you think is an energy molecule. It's all of them. Okay. So I want you to, I want to feel, pick one of those colors. Did you guys go back to pick one of the colors, one of the locations, and look at your top 3 health priorities? I just want you to pick one. And I want you to be thinking about feeling that one. So I'm going to use my heart because I want the people online to be able to see me a little bit. But just pick one of those areas and look at your chart or your top 3 priorities and be thinking about this. And I just want you to, for a minute, we're gonna do a hands-on exercise. I want you to rub your hands together and let's practice. If you have an essential oil, put it in your palm of your hand and just rub it and take a deep breath. Whichever one that is. I don't know. We've been passing things around. Okay, rub them together because you're creating some energy friction, your movement. And then I want you to touch your hand on 1 or 2 of the areas that you're most drawn to. And just hold it on your actual physical body for a minute. I want you to feel the physicalness of your body. And notice the energy in your hands. Can you feel them? Because you just rubbed them together. You can feel that, right? That's a physical sensation, but there's also an energy that's produced by that. It's measurable. Okay, so we're going to hold that. And then I want you to, kind of like when you play with your hands with energy, you may not be able to feel energy readily, but just play with it. Just start going, I feel a pulsing something, or I don't feel anything, or I feel heat. I smell something. I hear something. We all have, the different senses that I can taste it. I don't know why, but it tastes like green beans. I don't know. It tastes like roses. It tastes like Jolly Ranchers. Like some people smell energy. Some people taste it. Some people see it. Some people feel it. Some people hear it. Can you feel, hear, taste, touch, smell? And it's just subtle tingles. You might see colors. You might not. You might not see anything or feel anything. Now, as you have that 1 chakra area, I want you to raise your hand above that chakra area, whatever color you pick, just feel above it and see if you can move your hands a little bit in a circle, or you can kind of pulse in and out. See if you can just feel something. Can you guys feel it? Yeah, lots of yeses. It's okay if you don't. It's there, I promise you. And with practice, you will feel or hear or taste or touch or smell something. Right? And sometimes it's just very, very slow. If I move fast, I miss it. If I go really just hold it intentionally, I can feel it moving. I've gotten familiar enough with energy that I can actually move things around. I can find information in there. I can feel it. So just wonder what you're feeling. Can you put in the chat box what you guys are experiencing right now? Or unmute yourself, or if you're here locally. Kathy, what are you experiencing?
I'm feeling the heart chakra, and it's very tight.
Okay, it's very tight. Just observe, no judgment. Whatever you experience, this is just an discovery. That's it. It's a discovery. It's dense. You feel a dense energy. Okay.
Mine is my heart.
High heart.
My heart, and I
Okay.
feel nurtured.
You feel nurtured. Excellent. Excellent. Is anybody else feeling something? Ashley.
It feels, in my head, it feels bumpy. So
It feels bumpy, rigid, bumpy.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's no make wrong. Please, if you're feeling something and you give it a depth, remember when we were talking, energy is neutral unless we give it a job. Right now, if it's dense or it's nurtured or it's bumpy, it does mean something to you. It's why it's that way. It's showing up to speak to you. But right now, as we're playing with it, you don't need to make it mean anything. It's like, oh, that's interesting. Grapefruit oil is a fantastic oil of honoring and loving your body.
I just put it on my hands.
There's
Pulsating energy for Sherry in the chat. So can you guys just play in there for a minute? I just wanted you to get, as we go through each of the chakras, I want you to do that with each of the chakras. The root chakra will be, you're not going to be able to, unless you're standing, but you can feel it right above the pubic bone area, and you can feel it down your knees and your feet. You can play with that. Okay. So some things that you can do, even if you don't do energy medicine, is ground yourself. Do you know that there's a perfect harmonic of Mother Earth? There's a Schumann resonance that our physical bodies were designed to harmonize with. So grounding is always going to be one of those exercises, is to take your shoes off, get the plastic off the bottoms of your feet. There's a lot of people who love to be barefoot. Do you know how many children love to go barefoot? I almost never wear shoes. Never wear shoes. Yeah. So why?
Because he knows the way the ground feels on his feet.
Yeah. We like to connect with the earth. And so what's the first thing we do when we start going to the beach? Ripping shoes off. We're like, we want to touch the earth. And so I love to garden barefoot. I love to go out and landscape barefoot. I love to feel the earth in my little toes. When my kids were little, McKenna will attest, I gave my kids a lot of opportunities to have rain parties and to get muddy and to play in the dirt. Now I did, I was kind of a cleaning fanatic, but I did give them the experiences, and then I brought towels and we cleaned them all off. But I think it's really important for us to get our feet squishy and get dirty and be in the earth. But lay down, get a blanket if it's nice outside, get an umbrella and go sit on the ground if it's wet. It doesn't matter. Go outside. There are experts who've tested earthing or grounding methods. You can Google search that. And they say that 30 to 45 minutes a day is ideal. That's almost impossible, and winter months make it hard. But I remember Julie's on this call. I remember seeing a lot of Julie post online, like it's snowing, it's cold, but I am outside. Right? Go out in nature. Native Americans would wear moccasins because it's an earth product, and that there are shoes you can buy.
Can you wear leather soled shoes and still get grounded?
Yes. But if you wear plastic, every one of us are wearing plastic shoes or barefoot.
Denise says that she saw a small band, but you don't wear shoes in the performance.
Oh, that is cool. Denise, of course you saw that.
And Ricardo said, that's such a beautiful point, connecting with the earth directly really does wonders for the body.
It really does. And that's partially because of the Schumann resonance. Call it whatever you want. But when you go on a hike, you go in the woods, you go to the beach, you go somewhere in nature, you just kind of go, oh, you just take a deep breath, right? So do that more often. Meditation is another way that you can help align and harmonize your systems and your chakras. Whatever it is you're feeling that day, there's so many apps. Insight Timer's one I use all the time. And it's just type in Schumann resonance if you're feeling a little out of your body. Sometimes I'm kind of out of my body, and I just put that on and I feel really grounded. You can type in anything for any one of the chakras. So I was holding on to my heart chakra. I could go into Insight Timer and just type in meditations or music for heart chakra. And you're going to pop up with all these vibrations, because people have figured out what the vibration is for these colors and these sounds. And so that's a simple thing you could do. Breathing is excellent. Breath moves energy. And so you can do that while you're meditating on the ground. habit stack, friends. Habit stack. You're going to have your essential oils, your breathing, your grounding, and your meditation happening all at the same time. And you can be listening to that vibrational music. So I know that I personally own a massage table that runs vibroacoustics through it. So I can run, say, a root chakra vibration through my table, and you just lay there and the whole table is just like,
That's so cool.
It's so cool. I need to take my table out, you guys. It's been a long time.
I need to try that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So those are fun things that we can do to harmonize our systems.
Do you do the bowls or anything like that?
I do have
Music?
some bowls. That's not my thing. Someday I'm going to have a whole set. I love the Tibetan bowls and I love the crystal bowls, and they're just, yeah. And you can put those in the music as well. All right. So any questions so far? Anything you want to put in the chat box as we start deep diving into individual chakras? Now, I don't typically put this much information on a slide, but because I did not create handouts for you today, this is what you're getting. So if you want to take a screenshot, I combined a lot of different sources of information. I happen to be trained by Donna Eden, energy medicine, as are many of you. And also I've done work with Barbara Brennan and multiple modalities of energy medicine. So anyway, I put them all into one thing. There were a couple things I left out, but the screen can only hold so many words. And, this is enough. Remember, just pick from this. I want you to look at this screen and I want you to pick one thing to take notes on. Unless this was the one color you chose, then make sure that you're really taking notice of this. If we had some music playing or if we had our tuning forks, it would be C. That's the note. And there's a vibrational frequency that goes with that. The color is red. It's earth. It's that deep ochre color. Imagine going to the center of the earth and the volcanic activity, that molten lava moving. When I was in Iceland in beginning of August, and I had an opportunity to be 100% present right in front of a live volcano. And that it was just like, I should have put a little video in here, just spewing this. And that's the color of this root chakra. And it moves really slow. It just feels like this very slow moving, because it's about security. It's about survival. It's about grounding. It's this depth that comes with us. And so imagine that a brand new baby comes into the earth, and this root chakra. Have you ever seen a baby? That's a whole different topic. But have you ever seen a little baby where their feet come up? Like they're laying on their back and their legs are up here. They can't even put them straight. That root chakra is like a little ball at the end of their tailbone. It hasn't gone down their legs yet. I just think it's hilarious. And we always want to pat them on the butt. Have you guys ever done that? I don't know. I had a lot of babies. I just want to pat their little butt. We can't help it. They're so cute. That's a little baby root chakra. Imagine that this begins to come down their legs and into the earth. If there's no shock, trauma, abuse, and things happening, that child can have some really deep, stable roots. If, on the other hand, there's emotional trauma and spiritual fragmentation and things happening in that environment, then your system, the foundation of what we build on in our life, is shaken. So if you have a childhood story, the root chakra is going to need some attention for you. That's going to be an area, because then you could start look at the organs and the glands associated with it. Do you have consistent issues with your legs, your feet, your bone, your teeth, your large intestine, or your adrenal glands? That's root chakra. Remember? And then you can go, okay, well, what are some things? There's a lot of ways that we can work with this. Is just information. And just like your essential oil. So you may have at the beginning said, oh, I love balance. Balance is my go-to. Well, now you know that balance has a lot of trees in it. So you take your oil balance and you can massage that on your tailbone. You can rub your legs with that. You can put your hands, get some beautiful lotion. doTERRA sells some plain lotion that you can add oils to, or you have a carrier oil and add some balance to that. Or do you see all these different oils? I put a bunch of oils here because I wanted you to have a choice, because you can get out your emotions book and you can add very specifically to the root chakra what it is that you want to experience. So balance happens to be about balance. It's harmonizing the whole system, to be grounded and deeply rooted, but then have the tree, the branches moving in the storms of life and not cracking. We have to be flexible or we crack. This is, we're like talking earlier about heart walls and this protective measures we put around ourselves. And because this particular chakra also has a lot to do with sexuality, it houses some of our sexual organs. How many people have been sexually abused? This is a story that a lot of people have, and it can impact survival and security. You see the correlation here? So it can be all kinds of, it could be that, maybe there was a divorce in your family or a death in your family when you were young, in those primary years, that the root chakra didn't get the deep stability.
I just thought you were gonna say how many of us have sexual organs, and I just
Yeah.
stopped laughing. I'm
Dinah's over here. I think we all have sexual organs. We all have sexual organs, but all I'm saying, we all do. How many in here have sexual organs?
I don't know, you guys. I'm
Okay.
tired. It's 20.
Okay. Anyway, you can pick any of these oils, and cinnamon happens to be on that topic, a really good one to help harmonize when we've been injured and we have deep spiritual wounding in some of these areas. But can you imagine trust and courage and first family and power to achieve goals, satisfaction in life? All of those come from that root chakra, which is forming at the base of your tree. So we have lots of oils for that. I love vetiver and I love frankincense, and I love them all. Pick your favorite. Know that there are things you can do. This is about connecting to the I am. Now, those of us who are more on the Christian tradition, the I am was important. It was the word of creation. And so I am. Have you ever thought about that? Like, I am. And if I can get into a singular knowing that I am, then we can honor that when we see other people and we see the I am in each other. And so there's a lot of tradition around the I am, and you see that I see you coming from here. I see you, I feel you, I hear you, I understand you. This one is the I am, because it's the foundation of who we actually are. And so that's important. So what are some things that we can do to support ourselves with our root chakra? We can eat foods that are roots, foods that are grounding. We can eat things that are red. You can think about radishes and onions and garlic and carrots. Yeah. Pomegranates and red peppers and watermelon, strawberries, cherries, kidney beans. The list goes on. Use your imagination. I happen to be vegan, so I didn't put any meats in here, but I'm sure that meats are extremely grounding for people, right? So that would be a root chakra. Things from the earth and under the earth are going to be very grounding.
I've also heard that petting your animals.
Petting your animals is a fantastic thing, because animals are just pure love and light, and they just lay on the ground all the time, right? They're always grounded unless they've been traumatized, right? Don't put shoes on your dogs. But think about our pets who, we have a lot of people on our team here in dōTERRA who they're more in the rescue arena of pets. Kathy, you've worked with rescue horses. Like, they have chakras too. Animals have chakras, and their root chakra can be damaged as well by rocky upbringings, rocky circumstances, the security, the trust, the courage, all of those things can be wounded in all of us. And I would say that that's part of the human story. We all have part of that because that's part of the growth. I also want you to know that wherever the wounding is actually where the strength is. Wherever the wounding is becomes the catalyst to move you through to your genius. We have to have both, or we wouldn't be on the planet. This is a planet of polarities, and we need the polarities. So what oil jumps out at you personally? Write that on your paper for your root chakra as you're taking your notes, because I want you guys to remember, just, you don't have to have a bunch of oils. dōTERRA actually sells make your own essential oil enrollment kits. And if you have an account, then you just go in and get the oils that we're talking about. But there's, I want you to just keep it simple with something that's calling your name. The one that you already own is perfect. That's probably why you own it, right? Because those are the ones we were drawn to. You can also surround yourself with things that are red or earth tones, the browns. I know my house for a lot of years was very earth toned. I needed to be so grounded. I needed to feel like I was in this womb of protection because my body was really sick. I had nervous system issues for a lot of years. And so, from Lyme disease, I was not doing well for a very long time. And so my living room was painted kind of a golden color, and it was modeled with back in the day when we did, stuff on the walls. And it was just earthy, and my bedroom was brown, and I just loved it because I just felt like I was in the womb of the earth all the time. And then my husband's like, I can't take it anymore. So he made me a deal and we painted it brighter colors, and I like it now. I've moved through that era of my life. But you can surround yourself with the colors of the chakras you're wanting to support. So you could wear clothing of that color. Notice what people wear. When you go to your closet in the morning, why did you choose that color today, Ashley? I don't know. I just went in the color, but why didn't you choose your blue shirt today? Why didn't you choose a yellow shirt? Why do we consistently wear colors?
Yeah, the blue is very calming. I don't get out in that calming mood around.
Yeah, exactly. So when you wake up in the morning and you take a deep breath and you pick out your oils and you smell your oils, and then you go into your closet, make it a moment. Like what am I feeling today? Where's the magic? Some colors look better on some people. Those colors are vibrational because you have colors in your aura. You have a life color, and we wear colors. We're drawn to colors that actually work like that. Some people, have you ever seen people when they wear the wrong colors? And you're just like, something's not right, but that's a way to go, gosh, they're probably working through something. Maybe they need that color, or maybe they're drawn, you never know. It's just so interesting. It's fascinating. You crave wearing certain colors like food. Yeah. So if you're craving that, what could that mean? Yeah. Yeah. To me, it's like, remember we were talking about like taste and touch and smell, like purple for you, whatever, eggplant plum kind of color that you've got on right now is kind of like your system is just, it's absorbing that vibration. I think it's just beautiful. All right. So that's our first chakra. The symbol for it is a square, and it's got little petals in there, but question.
How would you incorporate symbols within like all of them are having
That's fantastic question. Yeah, I think drawing them is an excellent way to do it. You can focus on them in a meditation. Dinah, do you have other ideas with symbols, like with yoga? Do you guys use symbols anyway?
I mean, just coloring mantras, mandalas and stuff.
You could color
Yeah.
So it's out there, but there's also, I didn't put in here, there's also sounds. There's mudras, there's hand positions. There's so many things that have been created to represent the energy of these chakras. So I would say, Chris, that's a great question. And what comes to you? You said drawing them. So I would say that would probably be where you want to go. Yeah. And notice if you're looking at a symbol, or you're drawing a symbol, or you're smelling an oil, notice, don't just do it from here. You guys, you can't do everything from our brain. Drop into your body and feel them. What does that square look like? What does it feel like to you? When I Chris, when I say square, what do you think of?
Like a very symmetrical room.
A symmetrical room? Okay.
I don't have much for that reason. I think.
Okay. I'm thinking of some things. David, what do you think of with the square?
We have a set of stones, small, flat stones polished with, as you can see down here, there's stones on this list, but each of them has the symbols etched into them. So
I've seen
the red
those.
one has the square etched into them, and we will place those on the body and use the tuning forks placed on that stone to run that vibration and energy into it.
It's a really creative idea. Yeah, I hope you give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear that, or just
Window panes are supposed to be square, just looking at them.
window panes. I was thinking about the foundation of a house needs to be on a solid foundation. So that root chakra being a square is something solid for things to build on, because we're getting ready to have lots of lotus flowers coming up, but we need to have the ground and the root there. All right, let's move forward. So the next, oh, that's backward. Let's go this way. Okay, so here's the sacral or the womb chakra. And this one is about feeling. I feel it's creativity, it's childlike playfulness. It is openness. It's about sexuality, pleasure, sensuality, awe, union. It's about being one with nature. And so you can associate this, like those of us who've had children, that's the ultimate of creation, right? That's the ultimate creativity. But men also have a womb, and your ideas are born from this area. We birth things from this area. So when the foundation is strong, it can move up and flower into the creativity. It's hard to access creativity when the root feels wounded. So that's something to think about. Note is D. So you could play some music with that, some vibrations with that. You can get next to my piano and hit the note just to go like, where am I? You could sing and chant these things. There's all kinds of ways that you can connect in on a note level with this. I forgot to tell you the element of the first chakra. You saw it on there. It was earth. Each of the chakras have an element. So the earth element is your first chakra. And as we move up, we move into the waters, the fluids of the body. The color is orange. As I said, it's all modeled together, but orange is what we represent it. There's lots of stones in here you can see that you can play with, like David and Deb do with their work. I have beautiful crystals that I've personally mined, or I've purchased where they were mined, and I have them under my bed. I sleep with these rocks underneath me, and it feels really grounding to me. Sometimes I have lots of tabs open, and so that's one of the ways that helps me. I have my oils and I can play some vibrational music, but I think the stones are really helpful. Some people carry them in their pockets. You might just as a reminder, it's just an energy. There's nothing mystical or weird about this. It's just a frequency. Everything has a frequency. So sometimes carrying the frequency of these things that you're going through can just be a reminder and help to regulate how you're feeling in there. The foods that are associated with this one are foods that are orange. Oranges and papaya, yams, cantaloupe, carrots, peaches, persimmon, apricots, mango, and kumquat. You're going to see some of these foods overlap each other. Foods have lots of different properties, and they probably impact positively every single one of the chakras. You can wear colors that are orange, dress yourself in orange, paint a wall orange, eat a orange, do something that feels orange. Do you love the color of the sunrise, the sunsets, and just see the things you love and start taking notice, and then feel in your body when you're watching the sunset. Where do you feel it in your body? Where is it? Could be everywhere. There's no wrong or right answer. But the second chakra, again, it's really about this relationship with our creativity and the playfulness. If you had a rooted childhood, then you're going to be more apt to be more creative and playful and laughing and childlike. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And that element of water helps to flow. Are you frozen? So right now, if you're thinking about, as I'm talking about it, you rub your hands together, put it over the top of that womb, below the belly button. Can you feel it? Is it frozen? What's the water like? What are your fluids like? Are they boiling? Are they hot? Are they, you feel prickly? All the different sensations give you an idea. So just kind of just feel and play in those energies to see if you notice. And then if you use something yellow or orange, as we start moving up the rainbow colors here, you'll notice it's the rainbow. Do you notice that it's nature? Nobody created the colors of the rainbow. I'm not up there moving the colors of the rainbow, right? Deb's over here helping us with our sacral chakra playfulness. Everybody's moving. We're all dancing. Yeah, that was like on cue. Thank you, Deb. That was perfect. Some of the oils we use are wild orange, citrus bliss, clary sage. Clary sage because look at the organs that are in there. Your reproductive system, your bladder, your kidneys, your spleen, lower back, large intestine, hips, the gonads. So those are things that you can be thinking about this. If you have challenges in those areas, you might want to look at some ways and some of these oils are ways that you can implement that. Oranges, papaya, yams, carrots, kumquat. We already talked about that. And then this is a 6-petal lotus. The third chakra is about I do. And it's really associated again. There's still creativity there, emotional well-being. It's more about ego, self-worth. The creativity and the pleasure that comes from this one it's a different flavor. It's a different thing. Ashley, will you hit the fan on in here? If I'm getting warm, you guys are probably melting. Yeah, I don't know why it's hot in here.
Which button?
I don't know. Oh, it's the top one on the knob, not the, yeah. So, so this one here, look at the organ systems, look at, we were talking about associated with creativity. You can say the same words, you can use the same oils, you can eat the same foods, but you're pulling out of it different elements. Does that make sense? Pull out those different elements. And that's really fun. But this one's about personal power. It's about taking the creativity that comes from the root and the flow, that pilot light of the root chakra that moves life force up into the womb. So you have fuel to take the creativity and then up to that third chakra and bring it out with confidence, with leadership, with strength. That's when these are working together, the energy is flowing. You're going to just see, oh, the root's bringing all the fuel and fire up, and it's moved into this creative childlike place of my imagination. And then it moves it up into go and do. It's do. I get stuff done. So if you're not getting stuff done, your root chakra might be, if you don't know what to do, then we need to look at the root and we need to look at the creativity. If you're up here, I'm not looking at anybody in particular.
Sure felt like it.
I didn't even see you. All right. But I mean, if you're not tapping in, look at these areas, because that's where you can, when we do the exercises for these, that's where you can jump into. The color's bright yellow. So orange and yellow, and they all kind of mix and mingle. It's really beautiful. And it's the element of fire, because it's more of a yang moving out, where the yin is coming, yin and yang. It's like a feminine and masculine energy. So like that root was a real yang kind of a flow, and it moves up to the water, which was a yin, and it moves back up into the yang. And I love that. Of course, all the elements have a yin and a yang in there. I'm just saying in general, this feels very like moving out. And so doing and fire, and there's lots of stones there that you can look at. Organ systems. Do you have issues with your large intestine, your small intestine? Where's that? It was meant to say small intestine in there too. Liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. these areas, you know, and I was going to tell you guys, I pulled from a lot of different sources because I'm trained in Donna Eden, but when I was looking, there's so many different systems and they all have the organ systems in different areas. So if you're like, she messed up, I just tried to do a general one because sometimes like the spleen and some of these could be in that third chakra area too. And, you know, feel where it is. Usually the band where the chakra is the organs that are held within that band, because it's going to move the chakra energy into the meridians and go feed those organ systems with information and light. Foods for this are things that are yellow, things that are sour, things that aid in digestion, because your stomach is right there too. Did I even put that in there? No. Okay. So stomach and lemons and mangoes and apricots and pineapple and bananas and squash and yellow peppers, corn, and even things grains, some quinoas. Look at the colors and the neutrality. There's some nuts that do really well, and almonds and pumpkin seeds showed up in a lot of different places. So surround yourself with the colors, surround yourself with these symbols. If you want this 10-petal lotus, you can look that up online and it's everywhere. You can't miss it. And then as far as oils go, the oil that I chose, bergamot, was this because like bergamot, actually, do we have our emotion book down here? I don't think we do. I think I moved it. The emotion book, you can go through these oils and see, again, feel it, rub your hands together, feel the energy over that stomach area, over that solar plexus area. It's above the stomach, but it houses that area. See if you can feel anything there. Did you just eat? Does it change after a meal? Do you get upset? Your gut and your brain are connected, right? So second and third chakra are going to be connected in to the brain. All of these chakras are communicating their energy. It's like quorum sensing. They all pick up this stuff instantly. So pick your favorite oil from that. And if you were to look each of these up, wow, you would see, you see a lot of digestin and ginger and fennel and oils that really help with digestion. And so lemon's actually excellent for digestion. I know it's not always talked about that way, but those oils are great. Meta Power is the old Slim and Sassy blend. And so there's a lot of great oils in that help to support personal power. Just like our bergamot does, or cassia. Those are all like personal powers and self-acceptance and oils that help us move forward. Turmeric and terrazyme. I put some supplements in there that we sell too, because terrazyme, PB Assist. Yeah, the Meta Powers. Yeah, it's so good. Those are all really good oils that we need in there. So that is our third one. It's really about your transformation. So much, because we're getting ready to move up to the heart chakra. So those first three chakras and the top three chakras meet really at that heart center. And we need to feel harmonized in those. And I think that personal power and the transformation and identity is really important, because as we start to move up into the heart energy, how do we communicate? How do we talk to each other? How do we love ourselves and others? And having those lower three stable and in flow gives us this ability. So can you imagine, think about either your own story or someone else's. Imagine that there's some wounding that hasn't been healed. And now all of a sudden we're trying to ask, you wanting to love, or you wanting to release the blocks that we have in our heart of trust and things. If we don't work with the root chakra and we heal those fragmentations that happened so long ago, it's not going to come as easy. So sometimes you think, oh, I want to open my heart, but it's not actually a heart's issue. You're all squishy in your heart, but the root chakra is hurting, or the personal power is, there's no direction, there's no identity. It's hard to get clear in the heart when the three lower ones aren't moving and in flow, right? So sometimes I think that we're prescriptive. We're like, oh, I'm going to work right here. Guess what? We have to ask the right questions. We have to get to know our system, and it will guide you. You are your own practitioner. Let your system guide you to where your hands need to go. You don't even have to worry about these centers I'm talking about. Just move your hands. Hold a spot on your body. Where do you feel it in your body? I automatically went to my heart and my solar plexus right now. Hold those spots. Connect them. Let them talk to each other. The element we talked about was fire. We went over all of those. Excellent. So let's go to our fourth chakra, which is divine love. And divine love is really unconditional love for ourselves and each other. Compassion, relationships, harmony, transformation, devotion, sharing, healing, all of those things that we associate with the fourth chakra. And we want to take special notice of the actual heart and pericardium, the lungs, the circulatory system. Your thymus gland is the gland that regulates this, is regulated by this chakra. And so if you have issues in those areas, feel your heart. Do you have a closed heart? Does the energy feel prickly? Does it feel squishy and soft? Does it feel inviting and welcome? Because remember, your energy field and the chakras go out and they come in, and we're interacting with each other. So you're attracting from these centers information that you feel about yourself. So if you can love yourself, that might mean that you need to have some personal work on your root chakra, or maybe you need to do some playful things, go out in nature, lay in the grass, do some things that move this energy. You're going to start feeling more and more harmony. So if you're not feeling harmony in your life, if your relationships are a little hurting, or you feel like you can't open your heart, you're really judgmental to other people, and you can't find the positive traits in others, it might be that you're not seeing those in yourself. It might be that there's some hurt in you. It might be that there needs to be some flow. So be looking through those four. And if we had more time, I would be walking you through, making sure every one of them. So like, let me just show you guys online. You go to your root and start moving the root. We'll just do it together right now. If you guys here too, I'm going to come over here. So like we started with our root chakra, just root, and you can just put your hands above your body and root and womb. And you can move those together. Womb and solar. Solar and heart. Right? Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. But you just want everybody talking. You can figure eight. I'm getting ahead of myself because this is coming up. But just get them all talking. So now we're on to the fourth one. Note is F. It's green or pink. So you could be thinking about green or pink. You could get a flashlight and hold some, or put some green felt or fabric on you. You could wear green or pink colors. You can play the music and the notes. And the element is air. So what do you think about when it's airy? And you could go outside and you can have the wind. You could put a fan on you. Find ways that simulate the air as an element. And you could get these stones like jade or rose quartz. Those are just two examples in here that are tourmaline. You could eat some foods that are leafy and green, things that you know will, like exercising your heart. You could get on a treadmill because you're going to move the circulatory system. So as we go through these organ systems, it's a circle. It goes in circles, because like I go, oh, circulatory, I'm going to get on a treadmill. I'm feeling hurt. Go move your body. Move the energy, move the circulation. You could eat a avocado or some green grapes. What are your favorite foods? Do you notice as we're going through these, you guys have favorite foods? Which one's your favorite?
Well, there's a cucumber. No, I don't see anything.
Cucumber, we need to just go through and add even more.
Okay.
Yeah, cucumber would be fantastic. Yeah. Anything that's green. Cucumber would, there's another chakra that would be really good. And what do you guys think cucumber would be good in? Any ideas? Throat would be good. Well, they're all probably good, but I was thinking of the womb because of the water. It's a water element, and there's a lot of water in watermelon, a lot of water in cucumbers. So you can kind of play with that a little bit if you wanted to. So you can see all the different types of food. You could look at a 12-petaled lotus. You could draw it, you could color it, or you can get out your essential oils. And I love ylang-ylang for the heart. I love ylang-ylang for the second chakra too, because it's playful and childlike, brings you back to who you really are authentically. So ylang-ylang is great. I picked that one for our oil on display right here because it just does such a good thing for the heart. It's a beautiful oil. Pink pepper. We have a lot of new oils that I haven't added to this presentation. doTERRA's come out with some great ones over the last years that we could add, but you get the idea. We have a lot of oils here. Pick your favorite. Is there one that jumps out at you for this one? Again, go ahead and feel it. Think about which oil. Cedarwood is a great one. Also, if we were looking these up, we would know. I'll pick out, for example, thyme is really about managing the anger or the energy of anger. So if you're feeling tight and restricted and mad and red, and just get some breathe out. So I put breathe on there. Breathe is for the lungs and for opening up. You could get out some ylang-ylang and get a little bit more kindness and playfulness about you. You could take out thyme and just smell it. Put it in a capsule. Get it in the bloodstream. There's so much you could do. I put aroma touch in here because we want to move the circulation. So all kinds of things. As far as oils, you can write down your favorite oil. Geranium's like a big hug, and cilantro is about movement and flow when you feel stuck. You could use cilantro when you feel stuck in your work. You could use cilantro on your womb if your creativity's kind of stunted. Cypress, not cilantro. Thank you, Kristen. She's like, wait, what is she talking about? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lung circulatory, the thymus gland, your Tarzan. It's one of our 3 thumps, 4 thumps in energy medicine. It's the energetic immune system is regulated by this. I love. So if you have a low immune system and your thymus is in your high heart area, could it be possible that you could use some of these areas, right? Some of these things that we're talking about. Put some oils on your thymus, massage that. Okay, guys, I always think I'm going to get through in an hour, and now it's been an hour and a half. You guys are doing really well. Thanks. I'll try to go a little faster for you. 5th chakra, throat, voice expression. I speak, manifestation. I talked to you guys about the throat chakra having channels of all the chakras. The middle one is 7 and 1, 3, 5 and 2, 4, 6. And it is expression. It's the voice, and representing all of you. All of the information can come out in our voice and in how we speak. And we speak through our body language. We speak in lots of ways. It's the element of space and ether. Lots of turquoise and agate and aquamarines, those stones and those colors you can dress yourself in. I see lots of these colors of the throat chakra in the room tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4 people, 5, 6. 6 of us. We got blue jeans on. Pretty much everybody's covered. But anyway, lots of shades and colors of the blues. Ears are more, I would say, your 6th, but I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put 6 over in the 6th chakra, but your mouth, your parathyroid, your tonsils, your vocal cords, esophagus, trachea, larynx. The gland is your thyroid.
It's the epiglottis.
The epiglottis is a little piece here in your throat. So
Does it make you choke all the time? It make you choke all the time?
well, it's not the little,
It's the little flap.
yeah. So it's associated with communication, self-expression, creativity, freedom, independence, and truth. Lavender, the oil of communication, such a great oil. I'm seen, I'm heard. What I have to say is important. That is all coming from self-expression. I love all of these oils. Just pick one. We're breathing in the breath. That's great for this center, but it's also great for the heart center, which regulates the lungs. But you have from here down, and remember neck. Do you guys have neck strain and migraines that come from the back? The weight we carry. That's this throat chakra, partially, and the heart. Right. So you can see that the note is G. I think we went over the symbols, the 16 petal lotus, and foods are things that are blue or purple in some ways. Things that are going to impact your throat or your vocal cords. I can think of lots of teas and things that we drink that come right through here, the foods that we eat, mixing with saliva when we chew our foods. Those are all things that help this area here. Blueberries, blackberries, boysenberries, plums, blue corn. And our fifth chakra will be so happy when we sing, when we hum. Have you noticed that when your heart feels light that you begin to hum? Why? Because things are moving up and out of you. It's a rhythm, it's a song, it's a communication without words. So if you notice someone singing or humming, then probably this energy from the heart is moving out, or creativity is coming out. It's very fun.
Did you, my thing was very good.
With
And the elders, and how do you?
remember that they're connected in with the energy center. I mean, the energy field around us as well. So it's correlating with that layer of your energy field. And so just think about space and ether connecting in with the energy field. And then what does that mean to you?
Oh, that's not how it works.
Well, it could be.
I thought that.
Well, ether is also, but yeah, I think it is. It's a yes and, because it's like there are the spaces between the words, the spaces between the letters. The throat is about expression, so there is that space. And when you're co-creating, that's a very spiritual thing too. So that's a space. I don't know. I don't see, like, in my world, I don't have like a space out there and a space in here. I kind of feel like it's all one space. So I might not be the best one to ask, but that's a good question. It's a great question. All right. I see enlightenment, comprehension. This is your third eye. This is your ajna, lapis and fluorite and sodalite and azurite. These are all different stones. It's the element of light. It's being able to see through the illusions, to see truth, to be able to see the subtle energies, to see auras, to see around us. It's your intuition, insight, and spiritual awareness. Your imagination also comes from here. It's a different type of imagination. Think of what your brain imagines versus what your womb imagines. It's very different. It's a different feel. Notice the difference between this type of imagination and creation and birthing something and this. Very different, because this is connected to your crown chakra, which is that inspiration coming down. So it has a different feel to it, even though we're using a lot of the same words and a lot of the same foods and a lot of the same oils. Adaptive is a great one for the mind and emotional regulation up here in the brain. Oh, yes. Lemon again, because lemon's about clarity. It's about focus. Rosemary, memory, lots of things here. Sage opens up that third eye too. We have sage is a beautiful product that doTERRA is carrying. Juniper berry, immortelle, in tune, aromatouch, past tense, cardamom. Those are all great choices. There's lots more. You could use any oil you want on any chakra. If you have an oil, put it directly on your skin. Just put it right there. So when we're talking about oil use, you can use the oils directly on your skin, or put them in your hands and use them in the field. Use them in this etheric field around us. This is the brain, the nervous system, your eyes, your ears, your pituitary gland. Foods that are dark blue or purple. So eggplant, blueberries again, blue grapes, black beans, red cabbage, purple onion, potatoes, beets. These are some of the colors of these foods really come into that indigo color. Wear those colors. I think Kristen wears a lot of these colors, and that might be because she's very enlightened. She comprehends things, or she wants to, right? We're drawn to the things. You're wearing, Jessica, here, you're wearing a rosy pink. So you've said the word you said was I feel nourished. You got like the earrings, right? It's nourished. You feel nourished. You're dressed nourishing. So when you come into the room, I'm going to feel nourished also. You have your oils on, it's going to stick to me and I'm going to feel that too. It's a very powerful way that we can work with each other. 2-petal lotus or an upside down triangle is the symbol for that one. And it's all about seeing. The 7th chakra is divine consciousness and transcendence. It's about understanding, bringing in the oneness of the universe, the one mind, the one heart, the one vision. It's what we seek. It's at the top because our root system, imagine that tree of life coming up. And now we're going to be able to see and transcend what we see around us. Sometimes we see our situation of the world. It's very, notice the money and financial issues and security issues. If we were seeing and had a harmony moving up, we would transcend what the physical reality is saying around you. Have you ever had that feeling where you're like, I don't know why I know this or whatever, but it doesn't matter what anybody says, I'm going to feel or do this, or you have those spiritual hits that you have, and that intuition is going to come in very, very strong here. And it transcends anything that you see in the physical reality. That's how I've been building my nonprofit. I had like this personal vision that came to me, and it embodied deep in my root. And I know what it can become. I mean, we've reached tens of thousands of lives, but I see it global. And even though on outward paper, it looks like it, like it looks, I always have this transcendent view of it because it was just this gift that was given to me for it. But it's my vision. I don't care if anybody else can see it or not. Those of you growing a dōTERRA business, or you have a different business, you know what you know. It doesn't matter what anybody says. You just know it when you know it, or you don't. But when you do, whatever it is that you do know, you will understand it. And it's for you. It's your knowledge. It's your precious gift. The upper brain, hair, nails, and skin, nervous system, hypothalamus, pineal gland. So people talk about enlightenment and bliss and wisdom and inspiration. And I'm here to share with you that I believe that we can live in these states, that we were designed. This is our natural state, but we're human. And so we're merging, we're becoming our own soulmate. And as that happens, then we're going to begin to have more bliss and more universal love. And we're going to be able to see and to understand and to speak and to feel and to love and to have security, right? All of those things, and creativity and power. It just feels so good when we're in flow. Yarrow palm, Roman chamomile, rose again. It's very vibrating. Frankincense, sandalwood, arbor vitae, yarrow palm are all the choices that I made. There's lots of oils. You could choose any oil you want. There's really no rule around, oh, there's one oil for each chakra or something. No, they're all for everything. There's so many chemical constituents in the oils that they all work for everything. Just pick the one you want. If you want to feel your crown chakra, you're going to be above your head. Right? You're going to feel it. You're going to feel that there's layers to each chakra. We're not talking about that. That's like next level, but each chakra has layers, just like your aura did. And if you get really sensitive, you're going to be able to feel. You can even energy test each of the layers. You can energy test those. It's very cool. And they all go different directions because it funnels things out and funnels things in. So you can play in those, and each of the layers of the chakras have different meanings. Way too much information for this class, right? You're like, we're finally at the 7th chakra. Okay. You can look at the foods. This is 1,000-petal lotus or a circle. And when I think of that and you lean into it, it's this discovery of 1,000 universes. Like, to me, it's like there's just 1,000 places to explore within this place. And it's really an evolution from that root all the way up. But remember, you're not just one thing, you're all things all at the same time. So
I think I'd rather go a circle.
Circle would be easier. You can print one off if you want it. Yeah, so it's just coming right out. So Jessica's
cool.
showing us a picture where you can see that. I don't know if you guys can see that at home, but it's a very cool picture. And notice that it's pink. All right. Notice B color is gold or just this light violet color. The element is thought. Amethyst is a great one for this, or selenite. Feelings of that universe. We talked about that. Okay. Those are your chakras. You got a chance to feel them, feel into them. So just some quick things that you can do is I like to clear the chakras. One of the things that Donna Eden teaches is you can just simply go, if I'm playing with this one right here. Remember, chakras are in the front and the back, so don't ignore the back of you, but know that if you're working from the front, it's going to go from the back. When I'm lying in bed or I'm driving my car, I sometimes remember that 50% of the energy goes on whatever, like in my core, and 50% of me driving the car. So with the 50% that my subconscious is driving the car, or I'm laying in bed, I can just think of clearing my chakras and they clear. You can use stones to clear chakras. You can use tuning forks. You can do all kinds of things, but your hands have a lot of energy in them. And so just use your hands. They're magnetic. They're a really beautiful tool. That's why hands are for loving people. Use your hands to love. We don't use our hands to hit. We use our hands to work. We use our hands to love. Right? So that's something that's important. Notice what's happening in your body when you get angry. Have you ever gotten so angry that you might hurt somebody and you're not in your right mind? I've done that. I've had that done to me before. And it's when we're not grounded. You can see when we have injuries that aren't taken care of, just like think of your body when you're so tight and angry or frustrated. What are your hands doing? What do your hands do when you're nervous? Open things up. Like just notice the breath. Your breath got tighter and shorter and your face got squinchy and your hands tightened in and your body, your aura collapsed in around you with little pricklies. Like just take a breath and open up again when you're safe. Right. And so clearing the chakras, you could go 3 minutes counterclockwise. And just do it wherever you want. You don't know about the layers. It doesn't matter. Just pick a spot that feels right and you'll be in the right place. Go counterclockwise for 3 minutes and clockwise for 2 minutes. And you could do that up the entire chakras. You can do that over 1 and 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. You could do your figure eights, which is next. I love to go figure eight between the two. That's how I get them talking to each other. I figure eight between the two, and then I figure eight between the next two. Then I figure eight, and I figure eight all the way up my body. And that feels so good. And you can have, if you have a partner, just have them do that on your back. Have them do that on your back. You can use oils, you can trace it. It's phenomenal. The next one, we just talked about all three. Connect them, just connect. Lay your hands, just say on your third eye and on your heart, or on your third eye and your throat. Let them talk to each other. You have a headache at the same time your stomach hurts, put your hands on there. And that will help you with those ones. So practice your energy exercises. And then I just want to close out by letting you know, for those of you who are new, that there are 3 ways you can get your oils. And dōTERRA just came up with this really exciting program for our customers. And so ask the person who invited you to talk to you about the 3 different types of ways that you can buy. There's 0 reason to buy retail anymore because enrollments are always free now. So I just want to release the retail. There's no reason to do that anymore. You can get a free wholesale account. From now on, there is no charge for any size order for enrollment people. So just sign up with your own wholesale account and you're going to get free shipping. If you have 150 PV worth of products from a custom kit you made, all on the chakras, because you just wrote down all the oils, you could get you're going to get a free pebble diffuser as well. And so that's really, really exciting. So those are the 3 ways. It's wholesale, below wholesale. We have some kits that are priced below wholesale. So get with the person who invited you. And as I mentioned, this new system of free enrollment, free Pebble diffuser, and free shipping. Right now is BOGO week. There's still BOGO boxes. So what I would suggest is that you guys get a BOGO box. If you have an account already, just type BOGO into your back office and it will pop up, or get with that person who invited you. And next week, as I mentioned, we're going to do a deep dive into the energetics of first aid and oils. And so you can, we'll be putting that link out there. I think it might actually already be out there, but just same channel right here. And we're gonna talk about those emergency situations or times that you could use energy medicine with essential oils, separate or together. And so I think that's a really, really important topic. So I appreciate each of you being with us tonight. Thank you so much. And I will check through questions. Don't know if there were any chats. Kenna, anything in the chat? Covered everything. Hi, Karen. Hi, Denise. Hi, McKenna. Hi, Ricardo. Hello, everybody. So wrapping up here. I don't know if you guys have any questions. So good to see you too, Teresa. I miss you guys. Lots of energy, friends. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I love the chakras. You can tell I could talk for another 3 hours on them on a different occasion. And there's no shortage of things. So if we do this class again, we might do more on the exercises, spend more time about playing with them and with each other. So you guys, any questions, anything you want to say before we wrap it up? We all good? Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today. See you guys later. Bye. Bye, Teresa. So good to see you.